You're listening to the Possibility Show podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Possibility Show. And this is your host, Jovan. And again, I am stoked and excited to have you back for another wonderful episode. And today, we are kind of like, going into the future and looking at how can coaches thrive in this new era of AIs. And today I have a special guest, and he is, one of, I'm proud to say, one of my mentors who has shaped me to who I am right now, and, going through a lot of things in life. He was there, supporting me as well, and learning a lot from him. Not only career wise, like in my training career, but also as a person. And I always remember stories about how I am really here in this planet to bring about difference, making a difference to other people. And that's one of those things that I really got from him. And like his analogy is like in the Matrix, like being Neo, taking choosing between the red pill and the blue pill, and that that identity of going out there to save people from this inner world that they're unconscious of. Without further ado, let me introduce to all of you to Douglas Kampung Kid Ng.
Hey, hey, Jovan. Thanks for having me. Always nice to have conversations with you. So,
Yes, I'm super grateful that you're here. Maybe you can, also introduce yourself so that people get to know you more as well.
okay, I am Douglas Kampung Kid. Kampung is a Malay word that refers to village, but the way we use it in Malaysia, okay, so I'm originally from Malaysia, living in Singapore right now, is when we say balik kampung, which is a Malay phrase, it means going home. In my life, the concept of home is very important to me, and hence the Kampung Kid. Okay, it's getting back to the basics. It's getting back to what's important, and that's where that came from. On another note, okay, I am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for the last. I keep losing count of the years because the years keep passing, time keeps passing. So since 1996, that's the easiest. So that's what, 27 years? That's half my life. I'm 53 this year. I've gone through lots of ups and downs. Okay, more downs than ups, and I guess that's where a lot of what I talk about life comes from. That concept of struggle, and if anyone has ever asked why all that struggle, me too. Okay, there was a point in my life I asked why the struggle. That eventually led me down a whole series of rabbit holes and different conversations to where I am today, where I work with people to discover what we call the Ikigai zone. For those of you not familiar with Ikigai, it's really a Japanese word that describes the intersection of four circles, which are what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. And that intersection in the middle is what we refer to as Ikigai. And to me, life is about discovering that intersection, which really requires for each of us to take a deep look, and have the types of conversations that go deep. Okay, beyond the daily living, beyond the routines, beyond the earning a living, and then discovering that place, okay, of meaning, purpose, and fulfillment, and that's what we call the Ikigai zone. And really, right now, I think the mission or the adventure that I'm on has got to do with really creating that space for people to discover those conversations. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell.
Beautiful. And that's basically like, a part of the reason why I invited you here as well, because
Mm,
as you know, as I mentioned to you, like my audience right now is our coaches, and
mm,
coaches are also partly, undergoing this adventure of finding out, their own ikigai zone. And at the
mm,
same time, coaches are also responsible, or doing the work in helping other
mm,
people find their own ikigai zone. I think it's just a great match, and that's why
mm,
I wanted you to be here as well. And a part of what we're gonna talk about is really how can coaches thrive in this new AI era, and which is something that
mm,
you're passionate about as well. And this new wave of new technology called AI, like Chat GPT, and you know has overflowed to a lot
and
of other things.
yeah,
And it's not only affecting specific markets, but a lot of markets, including the coaching business. As coaches, things have changed because we also use a lot of this software out there. Like I personally use a lot of this, simple as graphic design. There are AI for that. Copywriting, there are AIs for that. SEO, there's AI for all those things. From my own point of view, and maybe you can share yours as well, if coaches don't keep up to all of these things, then they will be left out. What's your view on
mm.
that?
Okay. So a little bit of context. I am a geek. I've been a geek. What do I mean by geek? I have a technical background. I have a degree in um, computer engineering, and that's where I
Engineers.
start. Yeah, geeks will rule the world. So I started as a computer engineer, and I was in a job for 1 year. 1 year when I decided that wasn't the life that I wanted. And I started my first business in 1996, which was about one and a half to 2 years after I graduated in 94. And the business that we were in was in the internet. Okay, and that was really 1996 was really the start, the infancy of the internet era in Singapore. Singapore was lagging a little bit, but we were really pretty much very close to where the world was as far as the internet or accessing the internet or utilizing the internet was concerned. And in 97, 98 really marked the dot-com boom. And so my business, which was called back then the Active Idea Company, was really at the forefront of developing technology and solutions for other dot-com companies. We rode the boom, experienced the bust and ups and downs, as I was describing earlier, to where we are today. On the back burner, okay, not really on the back burner, on the side, I still have a software company that I'm very passionate about. And then on the other hand, I work with people to discover their ikigai zone. So it's also very much a marriage of technology plus the human part of it.
Mm.
So I've always looked at technology as leverage. Okay, and also when the dot-com boom happened in the year 2000, dot-com bubble burst, okay, in the year 2000. So it boomed and then burst in year 2000. My company was one of the casualties, okay, of that, because we were doing a lot of work and suddenly the industry just disappeared. Well, not really disappeared. The fluff was gone, and then we were left to pick up the pieces. And what really helped me through was technology. Okay, we had to strip away our teams. We had to strip away a lot of things. And what really helped me through in continuing the business was the technology that we had. So I'm a believer, okay, in tech, okay, and how tech can help us humans, okay, do things better, do things faster, do things in a very, very leveraged way. I think most of the people using tech haven't really experienced intelligent technology in the way that AI provides right now.
Yes.
But over the years as well, we've seen, over the last 2 decades, we've seen technology accelerate. We've seen technology take over a lot of jobs, that used to be done by people. And what are these types of jobs? Jobs that are repetitive, jobs that are process-driven, jobs that can be put into a system in a predictable manner. All these types of work have the potential to be automated, or have already been automated. And in the last, even pre-COVID, the years before COVID, we started to see automation like kiosks at McDonald's, and then eventually a lot of other F&B outlets started to follow suit. AI can do lots of work that traditionally used to be done by humans that were also in a system, repetitive, dealing with data, information, and processing data and information. But AI has the ability, because it is smart technology, to make sense of the information. So it's not just data. It becomes useful information. So you do a search, you ask a question of what we call a prompt. Is a lot more advanced, the response that we get, than the information that we get from a normal search. Then the question becomes, if AI is going to take over all this work, then what are humans left to do? Humans are left to do higher level work. That technology takes away the mundane stuff, the repetitive stuff that then frees us up to do higher level thinking stuff. Instead of brainstorming the idea, the AI does the brainstorming, and then we assess, we evaluate, and then we create on top of that. So I believe that humans can't be eliminated yet. But humans need to tap on technology to be able to accelerate the things that they do. So the landscape that I see from now into the future, companies used to engage people. They still do. But in the future, what I see is that businesses, their assets are going to be the pieces of technology that's going to do the work for them. So the key thing for humans now is to actually upgrade, to utilize technology to create a lot more than they were able to without the technology. And I think the coaching industry is one of the industries that humans are still required, because the AI can't do the coaching yet.
Yeah.
But we need to accelerate. We need to take away all the mundane stuff, the boring stuff. And the AI has the capacity to do that.
And if, for example, these coaches, let's say they don't do that, they adhere to going back into their old ways, then what's going to happen to them?
They're going to be left behind. So what AI or what technology can do is increase ability, number one. What does that mean? It means that it increases the coaches, coaches is an example, but really humans' ability from a breadth and depth perspective. To be able to, if you need to churn out a piece of content, or you need to do some research, or you need to brainstorm some ideas, it takes time. It takes time for us to actually even develop an idea, or to brainstorm a bunch of ideas. And then that's a process of taking the idea into execution. And the thing about how humans brainstorm ideas and develop these ideas is limited to what we have. I can only brainstorm from what I know, from my experience. So as far as breadth is concerned, I will be limited by my own, what I call, model of the world. What I see, what I've experienced, my beliefs, my knowledge, and everything else in between. So I'm going to be limited like that. Okay, and I'm also going to be limited in terms of depth because I have, okay, so what's depth? Depth is being able to go a lot deeper in that one thing that we can do.
Yeah.
Right? So how is depth developed? Or through experience? All right, I do something, I make a mistake, I learn to do something a little bit differently or a little bit better. That's depth. And it takes time. If I use technology to do the same thing right now, because of the data sets that's available to AI, for that same idea that I want to develop, I'm going to get a lot more breadth that goes beyond my own limits. I'm going to get a lot more depth. Okay, and in the process, I will learn. I will learn what I don't know. So it's very exciting to me because as we use technology, it becomes a learning journey. Okay, not only let's say I want to brainstorm an idea. Not only do I get the idea, but there's a learning journey that I experience that expands beyond what I know. Okay, so it increases ability. Okay, it increases capacity. Okay, instead of being able to do just one thing, okay, because of the technology, it will empower me to actually do multiple things at the same time. So it increases my capacity. And because of the speed at which I can get my brainstorm ideas, for example, okay, instead of spending an hour thinking of a bunch of ideas or even with a bunch of people, the technology can give me the same thing and more within a far shorter time. So it makes me a lot more efficient. So increase ability, increase capacity, increase efficiency. And because it's technology, so you can expect when you throw a bunch of things out, the information that you're going to get back is going to be pretty well done. Okay, for example, if I want a piece of content, I can write it, okay, and then I've got grammatical errors and all that, and sentence structure stuff, and all the language stuff, that I got to fix it, I got to edit it. Or if I throw that work out there and somebody comes back to me, I still need to edit, review, and all that. Okay, so technology handles all that mostly. So by the time the response comes back, it is the quality of the response that comes back, okay, is very, very high, which means that the editing, the reviewing, and all that, okay, is minimized. Okay, the human still needs to review. Yeah. Okay, but the reworking it, okay, which used to consume a lot of time, is now reduced drastically. Yeah. Okay, so we become a lot more effective. The quality goes up. Time gets cut short. Okay, and that's what the technology can do. So without, okay, then you take away all these things. So you take away ability, you take away capacity, you take away efficiency, you take away all that.
Yeah.
So what do you think? the person with tech and the person without tech.
Yeah. So then it'll be like, and then this other coach is like moving.
For sure. The person is going to be giddy up, and then the other guy on the poor little donkey, and the other guy is just on a rocket.
Yeah, going very, very fast. Yeah, and that is very evident. I think that's why a lot of coaches as well and entrepreneurs have started to really look at AI in order to leverage on it and use it in their businesses. And then the other thing that, okay, now that, let's say for example, okay, I'm into this, let me look at this and start using it. The other trap that I see, challenge, if I can label it like that, is that because AI still needs humans, to operate it. And there's this term that, garbage in, garbage out. And if, they don't fully know how to utilize it, then it's not going to get, very good output as well. Could you say more about that?
It is a new world. Okay, it is a new world where things are done differently, and there definitely will be a learning curve. Okay, it's like we've learned to drive the car, and I remember when I learned to drive the car, we used to stick shift. I don't know if you know what stick.
I know.
Stick shift is. I don't
I'm
know
old enough.
I don't know if the people watching know what stick shift. So it's just a little gear stick, okay, that we need to adjust, okay, as we drive the car. And so the turn key ignition, the clutch, the stick shift. Okay, so that was a skill, okay, with that level of technology, vehicular technology, 30 years ago, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, today you start the car by the press of a button. Okay, you get the car engaged with another button. Okay, you step on the accelerator, it moves, and so there's very little that you actually need to do. But then there are other features and elements, okay, that you need to be. I think we need to be familiar with. Okay, when we stick shift, suddenly that isn't that anymore. Okay, so the technology change. Okay, and as technology changes, we need to shift and we need to learn this new technology. It takes getting used to. Okay, in the example of the car, the technology made it easier. In terms of using tech, okay, for work and business, okay, tech will make the mundane things, the repetitive things, the research things, the brainstorm things, it makes all that easier. Okay, but we need to evolve into that different model, okay, into that different technology and that different way of doing things. So there is some learning curve. Okay, it is not a very steep learning curve. Okay, you don't have to do programming. You don't actually need to know a lot of technical stuff. You just need to learn how to ask good questions. And I think coaches know how to ask good questions.
Well, yeah.
So,
in general, I don't know if all coaches are like that, but in general, yes.
So in my reality box, in my model of the world, coaches ask good questions. But that's their job, to ask good questions.
Yeah, correct.
And basically, when you work with AI, it's really asking good questions. Okay, and the skill that's required to work with AI is how to structure the questions so that they are good questions, to be able to solicit or get the response.
And I want to get back to that because it's getting nearer to the part of the conversation that I want to ask you as well. Because you said something about structure, something about prompts, and I just want to highlight this at this point of our conversation because I want to get back to this in a while. But before going to that direction, something that you coined, I want to talk about that, which is Gigepreneur. From what I understand from the definition of this, coaches also fall under this, and maybe you can explain, what Gigepreneur is and why did you coin that term?
Okay, once upon a time, not too long ago. Okay, and actually it's still happening right now. Okay, we're not totally out of it yet. Okay, and what am I talking about? I'm talking about traditional linear career paths. Okay, what's traditional linear career path? You go to school, okay, for 20 years. You get a piece of paper, and this piece of paper tells you the skill sets, the knowledge that you have, and your ability to do a job. That's what that piece of paper is, right? Then you go into the job, and in the process, okay, of doing your job, you progress in your career. You get, as you grow in your career, you get promoted, you get a pay raise, or you can stay in the same organization, or you move to another organization, but essentially still in the same career route. You're an engineer, you be an engineer. Okay, and basically what you're doing is selling time. The companies are your customer, they're paying you, they're buying your time and your expertise and your knowledge. And a lot of people for a very long time, and this really started post-industrial age. Okay, and up until recently, that was the way. Okay, to earn a living. Okay, you work for 40 years, And at the end of that, you go into this phase that's called retirement, okay, where you're supposed to have a bunch of cash to be able to live the rest of your life. And then you die. So this very, very linear, and that's what we call the traditional linear career path. Okay, and then COVID happened. And COVID was forced companies to do this experiment, okay, that nobody was willing to embark on or to test, okay, which was, is it possible, okay, for people to work from home or to work remotely? Because the nature of work that we know, okay, came from the industrial age where 100 years ago, in order to do work, in order to have conversations with people, in order to have your meetings and all that, you needed to go to the office, okay, to do all that. Okay, that's where all the equipment was, okay, no computers, typewriters or whatever it is. Okay, but we needed to go to the office. Yeah, to do work, okay, to meet with people, to do what we need to do. Okay, and fast forward 100 years later, when we have the internet, we have lots of technology. Okay, we're still going to the office, okay, and sitting in front of a computer, okay, for 8 hours, and for a lot of people, they don't interact with other people even. Okay, and then go home. So we have this model of the world where going to work or being recognized as doing work is sitting in the office, okay, punching, doing stuff. Okay, and nobody dared to test otherwise, because if you're not sitting at your desk doing work, how do we know? How do we know that you're doing work? Okay, so companies were stuck with this model of buying time from employees instead of buying output, instead of buying value, which is a different paradigm. If I buy value, I don't care how you do it. I'm concerned about the value that I'm buying. So if it takes you 8 hours to create that value, I get that value. If it takes you 2 hours, I'm still getting that value. Okay, I don't care, right? Instead of buying time, the 8 hours that you need to be there, even if you complete the work in 2 hours, then the rest of the 6 hours, you still need to be there because I'm buying your time. And COVID changed all that because nobody could go to the office anymore. What was not viewed as possible became possible. That people were actually churning out work. Okay, and people were actually creating value and not selling time. Companies got whatever they needed to get, and the people who were working remotely suddenly realized, oh my God, I can if I'm more efficient in how I do my work, I actually have a lot more time to do the other things that I want to do. Yeah. Right? So I, as an employee, became a vendor, selling my value and not my time to whoever wants to buy my product. Okay, which is the output that I create, whatever that output is, whether it's finance, marketing, sales, or everything else in between. Whatever the business functions were, okay, if I can sell that product, my service as a product, I can sell it to anyone, anywhere. So the gig economy started to emerge. Okay, and what's the difference? So the gig as opposed to traditional linear career path, marked as short-term contract type of work where you're not tied down to a single organization. And gigs give the gig worker a tremendous amount of freedom, okay, to choose the type of work that they want to do, that they love to do, be able to command value, okay, give them freedom of how they want to manage their time, give them freedom as far as where they want to be in the world, when they want to work and when they don't, how they want to work. And suddenly this whole new reality emerged. A gigepreneur, okay, is an entrepreneur in the gig industry. Okay, and then suddenly, okay, with a lot of technology coming up, okay, so the gigepreneur who used to outsource stuff to other gigepreneurs, okay, so they'll take a piece of job and say, okay, I want to do this piece, I don't want to do this piece, I pass it on to other people, and then they started to operate in ecosystems, okay, as a network of suppliers, as a network of value creators, and then suddenly AI comes in, technology comes in, there are things they don't really even need to outsource anymore because technology makes it possible, okay, for them to deliver all that, okay, without having them to actually do it as well. So we call this group of people gigepreneurs, okay, entrepreneurs in the gig industry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And with this gigapreneur, I think you wanted to also provide, with this emerging technology, and you wanted to provide, like the tools for them to be able to, go out into the market and have that, X factor, that, advantage in order to accelerate their business, specifically for coaches, their coaching business. And you created this platform that you were talking about structures, the prompts. Maybe you can share more about that.
We are very, very lean in terms of manpower. Okay, that's just me and my two other business partners, and the rest of it done by technology. Okay, we run an entire business. Okay, huge, 8-figure business. Okay, with 3 headcount. Okay, and so gone are the days where we boast about we've got hundreds of staff, hundreds of people in the in the organization. And to me, the secret, okay, is being able to do a lot with very little. Enables us to do that is this piece of software that's called Tribefii. Okay, and Tribefii is a platform that was developed that we use internally, or started internally anyway. That because of my tech background, I wanted to be able to do a lot of things very easily without doing all the annoying menial stuff. Okay, so I automated a lot of stuff. Okay, the web building, the social media engagement, the event registration organization, the payment systems, the blogs and all that. Okay, so I've got an entire platform that makes it very easy for us to roll things out. Okay, that engage our target market.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, before someone could go through the same process, like answering, like questions, reflecting, and it takes a long time, writing down, journaling, and then thinking, going back to it again, like repetitive process. And now you just put everything in one screen, click, and then you have all these ideas coming from Tribefii.
We built the system with the AI into the app. So what I do right now is I can sit with someone. Okay, I can sit with someone. Actually, I don't even need to sit with someone. Okay, go fill this form. Okay, go fill this form. Okay, then they'll fill the form. Okay, click a button, and then the gig opportunities, multiple gig opportunities are generated. Okay, and then from the gig opportunities, then I like this. They pick the one that they like. Please generate the value offer. Okay, which is the foundation for a product or service, and then the AI generates, okay, based on that niche, okay, what's the product, and then it describes the product, the benefits of the product, the features of the product, the other comparables that are in the market. Okay, it builds the foundation upon which a product can be developed or a service can be developed. What we call a tribe avatar. Okay, we work around the concept of tribes. Okay, so the tribe avatar, we made the tribe avatar. Who's my tribe avatar? Okay, which basically is just a marketing persona, and then it describes, okay, this person is single, married, okay, from this generation X generation cohort, okay, Gen X or Gen Y, okay, this is a profile, is an employee, age between whatever it is, okay, these are their concerns. These are the problems they want to resolve. These are the solutions that they're looking for. These are the key messages they're looking at. Okay, these are the struggles they're experiencing. And so it profiles the entire segment of people that they can offer the product or service to. Okay, and then after that, okay, so now I'm working on this gig. Okay, doing maybe art therapy, for example. Traditionally, we might be working with someone who is really, really creative and artistic. Okay, let's do some art courses and all that. Okay, but with AI, we are able now to extrapolate several things and interpolate several things. And then the AI will suggest something like, okay, art therapy or psychology in art or, or,
Yeah.
or any combination.
And I think some of the coaches who are listening here, they might be thinking, like, what if I don't know exactly what my niche is, and what I'm hearing from this, because of the speed, they can actually, like, test out one specific niche and then get something out of that, and then don't worry about, like, okay, is this the right niche that I'm going into?
Yeah,
And do
absolutely.
another one, because it's so fast. They don't have to worry about
Yes.
the length of
Yeah.
trying it out, and then and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because in the past, what do you do to test? Okay, you think of an idea, you create a concept, okay, and then you study the market. It takes time, right? It takes time. It
Yeah.
takes a couple of weeks, and then you decide, okay, let's test this market. And then you write a book. It takes 2 weeks. Let's create this course to see how people like or not. And it take, okay, so to get from start to execution, it might take 1 or 2 months. Okay, and then with 1 or 2 months, if it doesn't work, okay, then if it doesn't work, then you're erasing the time, okay, that's been put in. And people have cut loss aversion. Okay, we've invested time, then we go. You've invested time. Okay, let's be persistent. Let's push on. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and then people keep pushing something that may not be working because of the time and effort and energy that has been put in.
Yeah.
Okay, of all that has been invested, okay, it's very difficult to let go. But today, you can do all that same thing that used to be to take 6 to 8 weeks to do in a single day. Okay, you churn that out, you test it doesn't work, you throw away a day is fine. Then you do the next thing, and then you do the next thing. Or there's actually nothing that's stopping anyone from putting out several things at the same time. Then you see what works, and you pick the one that works, and then you move ahead with that.
That sounds really, I mean, like, it shortcuts a lot of things, especially time in testing. And of course, it's still good to get the fundamentals right before you start doing this. But like, there's no more excuse, basically.
Yeah,
There's no more
really,
excuse
there's
for
no more
that. There's
excuse.
no more. Yeah, so sounds great. I think the coaches who are hearing this will probably now are seeing the value of AI. Not only this, but a more structured AI platform like Tribefii. And so if a coach who's listening to this wants to know more about, like, how can they get more information about this Tribefii or Gigepreneur, for example, where's the best place to
Oh,
actually do more?
that's simple. Okay, go to gigepreneur.com, gigepreneur.com. Okay, www.gigepreneur.com. We've got a 2-day program that introduces this entire framework that within the 2 days you understand in greater detail than I'm able to cover today or talk about today. What AI is, how do you utilize it, what's available. But more than that, how you can tap on a platform like Tribefii to be able to discover what your niche is and how you can execute and test on that niche very, very quickly. Okay, so that you can do all the assessment and get to the one that works, okay, in a very, very short time frame. Because I've known Jovan for so long, okay, if any of you want to take a look at that or consider that further and see how that can work for you, you can use this promo code Jovan, Jovan, okay, at the website when you register, and then it will take $200 off.
Wow, thank you so much for that. $200 off. Oh my God. This is a great offer, and if you're listening to this, I want you to, like, step back. I do get that there's this, special offer and all. But I think looking at, because I'm a coach as well, and I can see all the benefits that I can get already from just attending the 2-day program. If you're just starting, or you're still maybe deciding going full time into the coaching business is for you, or maybe you want to, like, really just start it, and you're still not sure, and this is a great platform for you to like really, go into it and test it out. And for the next 2 days, you basically get the whole thing, like the whole buffet, like the of what you can possibly have in your coaching business, and you can even test it out. Am I right to say that?
Yeah. Test. Test. Okay.
Exactly.
As opposed to work hard.
Exactly. And so you don't get into that trap of like, procrastinating. Maybe I'll just do this next time because I'm not sure, who am I gonna really, target as my clients? How am I gonna help them? Because this will all be provided in Tribefii, and that's kind of like how I heard it based on what Douglas has shared. So wow, amazing. And then of course, if you see that value, then actually the $200 is just like icing on the cake, and the $200 off. So go ahead on. I'll put it in the show notes and the description as well, like gigepreneur.com. And the coupon code is my name so that you can remember my name. Yeah, and like to cap off our conversation, because I think you've shared a lot today, like a big scope as well of the industry and how important this is, especially as coaches, to leverage on AI. What's next? What's next for like your plans, for example, for Gigepreneur or Tribefii, and how you can help coaches and other gigapreneurs in this industry?
Gigepreneur program is actually a part of a much larger framework or ecosystem, if you would like. So earlier I talked about the Ikigai and Ikigai zone, and one of the things that we do is work with people to discover their Ikigai zone. Gigapreneur is the technology part of building on top of that foundation to do what you want to do. But in the grander scheme of things, within the Ikigai zone is a community that we are building that I call the sphere of mastery. Okay, where each individual really focuses on and develops their own mastery. So that's the grander scheme of things. Okay, the Gigapreneur piece is really helping people get to the nitty-gritties of, okay, this is the technical stuff. Okay, the Ignite programs are the metaphysical part, okay, of the discovery and then creating that framework for everyone to work together, and then that's the ecosystem. And so that is that place, okay, that is the future for us.
And I think what I can do as well for those who are interested or will be interested to know more about this Ikigai zone, I can create a page where we can continue the conversation, and then have them like put in like maybe their email, so I can keep in touch with them, and then when just to continue the conversation. I think this is a important topic that is really apt during this time, especially with AI. Finding out who we really are and what are we here for to do in this world. Thank you so much for I taken a lot of your time, and I can really hear and feel the passion that you have in this conversation, this topic of finding out what really ticks people, what's their Ikigai zone. And not only that, but providing the tools to leverage on in order to make everything so much easier for all of us. So thank you so much, Douglas, for the work that you do. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Any final message for our audience?
What I usually say to people that I work with: be the master you already are.
Wow.
Okay, and that's the beginning of meaning, fulfillment, and purpose.
Again, thank you so much for listening again in this Possibility Show podcast. And for always supporting us and continuing to support the mission that we have. And so I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
See you.
Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.